Hey guys, you know as well as I do that there are a lot of choices when it comes to fly lines, and for me, I'm very committed to Rio products and their fly lines. Of course, since I fish heavier, saltwater and carp and bass and things like that, I tend to use heavier rods, and these days, the way to go is saltwater fly lines. Basically, we've never been in a better place as far as fly lines go and the technology that gets pumped into these fly lines. I'd say about 7 years ago, it started with shark skin, which was an unmitigated disaster of a fly line. But these companies started to experiment on us and charge us for the privilege of having our fingers almost cut off by these textured lines, and they backed off of that and evolved, and things have changed. And the greatest thing is that the competition between fly line manufacturers is a boom for us. So there'll be little increments and then bigger increments, but right now I'd say we're at a somewhat of a plateau in fly lines, and Rio is the product that I like so much, and the support they give to pros, and it's very easy for me to get these in my hands. And so I'm all loaded up with Rio. They're all saltwater lines because of the weight I use, and then we'll talk more. I get a lot of calls right now about people about some basic equipment and stuff that they need because they're thinking trout and winter time and all that. It's almost October 2020, so that's what the time period is on this video. Things will change when it comes to fly lines. In a year, who knows what will be out there. All I know is it will cost more than it costs now. Not only is it a golden era in fly lines, they're demanding gold in payment for fly lines. They're very, very expensive nowadays. So it's very, very important that you find fly lines that you like, because they're going to cost you a lot of money, a lot more than they did, say, 10, 15 years ago, double. So, and that's based on some things they're doing. My Rio lines, I just got back from the coast. The Direct Core Flats Pro is great stuff. I use an intermediate. I'm using an 8-weight intermediate and it's called a stealth tip, and so it's got a clear tip on it and it sinks. And then the floating line is the Flats Pro. So these are the two that I had on 2 different 8-weights, so that you can go ahead and have a rod ready for changes in whatever you're dealing with in water. And that's what you want to do, is instead of changing spools and all that, just go ahead and if you're capable, go ahead and have 2 rods lined up and ready to go for 2 different things. It's kind of like when you move to that next level and you want to catch fish no matter what. It's kind of like the bass guys. I hate to say it, but it's true. You need multiple rods in your skiff, boat, or whatever in hand to be prepared for the changing conditions. So that's it. Rio lines are great. They're not cheap. And remember, modern fly lines are made for modern fly rods. So we're not in, Lefty Cray, God rest his wonderful soul, I think one of his questions is where does the good cast begin? Well, it begins at the fly, and that's what he said. So what you've got to do is have a fly line that complements the fly you're using and the rod you're using and your capabilities. So the great thing about the saltwater lines is they're usually about a half a weight heavier. So if you get an 8, it's about an 8.5, 9, 9.5, such as that. So naturally they're weighted heavier because they assume that you're using faster rods. It's all just based on assumptions, but it's really, really accurate assumptions in my opinion, that you've got to match your line to your rod, and of course all that match up to the fly, and then that'll make things, give you a lot easier day. So the weight of these lines they're designed to cast accurately further. They've got great coatings on them, and they handle heavier flies. So when we get into trout season in the dead of winter, I'll bring out some wintertime weight, 2, 3, 4 weights, and the lines for those. It's a constantly changing target. Like I said, it's a wonderful time in fly lines. Check out Rio Fly Lines. I think they're great. And you can bet that another benefit of the constant evolution of these is you can find them on sale, because they'll discontinue it. They might just change the name or something because of them, you know, whatever the name. But no matter what, check out the most modern fly lines you can handle, and don't hesitate to contact me if you have questions on fly lines, any brand, and I'll be able to hopefully talk you into what you need. Thanks for watching, guys. There's another video coming out soon, and it's going to be on reels.